I'm here with Miss Julie, and we're in the History Hallway. This is at the Hamilton Heights Student Activity Center, and here is where they have the history of all the schools where they came together to form Hamilton Heights High School. And Miss Julie, what's your favorite part about History Hallway?
I think it would have to be right where we're standing. These show the first years of Hamilton Heights High School. And this would have been in 1965-66 when we consolidated with Walnut Grove. And we at first were not the orange nation that we are now, but we started out with the colors of brown and tan. And up here we have a sweater that just shows no orange at all. And then as you can see, as we moved on down, we started adding the orange. This is actually the graduating class. It was the second graduating class, and this was my class. So I really enjoyed this because I kind of lived through it.
And that's actually really amazing. But what school did you go to?
Okay, when I was in elementary school, I went to Cicero High School. This is right here. And until the 1940s, Cicero had a high school from 1 through 12. And then Arcadia had a high school 1 through 12. And then also Atlanta had a high school, which is on down the hall here. And then in White River Township, over to the east, Walnut Grove also had actually a K through 12 building at that point. And I went to school there until I was in 6th grade. And then we had our junior high that was, would have been right kind of next door, which was old Arcadia High School. And then we consolidated with Walnut Grove. And so 2 years I was a Jackson Central Eagle, and then the last 2 years I was a Hamilton Heights Husky.
What was your favorite characteristic about all the schools coming together?
I think we were a lot of different people, and we learned that we had a lot of the same kind of thoughts and the same kind of feelings and the same kind of eagerness to learn and to make friends. And so we made friends. It was a little rough at the very beginning. Walnut Grove was still kind of very dedicated to Walnut Grove, and Jackson Central still wanted to be Jackson Central Eagles, but very, very quickly we knew we had a lot of common bonds, and so we came together.
Well, thank you for your time, Miss Julie.
Thank you. You're so...
Here we are in History Hallway, and behind me is the RyanWhite section. RyanWhite was originally from Kokomo, Indiana, where he was diagnosed with AIDS. He wasn't accepted after being diagnosed, so he moved to Hamilton Heights. He was accepted when moved here, but sadly passed away shortly before his high school graduation. Okay, here today we have Mr. Beechler, who went to school with RyanWhite. Just like in this picture with RyanWhite, you can see Mr. Beechler in the background. One question I have for you, Mr. B, is if you had to describe RyanWhite in one word, what would it be?
I would definitely say bravery, because it's, in middle school coming to high school, you're already kind of scared of that transition. But here, Ryan had to go through a whole new school. His experience at his old school was not good by any stretch of the imagination. So he had to, I'm sure, be brave enough to say, you know what? I have this new disease that no one really knows anything about. I'm going to go to a new school and try again, and see if I can live what he wanted to be a normal life, as more normal as possible. So just brave. Like I would have been like, I'm just going to stay home and be homeschooled. Not Ryan. He wanted to be in school and be as normal as possible. So definitely the word brave.
How did he act when he was in school?
Ryan just acted like any other typical teenager. Went to class. I know it was kind of hard too the first couple of weeks. You had reporters from all over the country. Outside, like you can see in this picture, if you can come over here, there's a stone wall here. Reporters had to stand behind that stone wall, and they would be screaming, yelling, trying to get us to answer questions. But our principal, Mr. Cook, was like, hey, we're going to make things as normal as possible. We weren't allowed to talk to those reporters because it had been chaos. So we had to, for 2 weeks, it was kind of chaotic. But after that, Ryan settled in. He just became a Husky. And after a few months, he was just like every one of us. Wasn't like people walked and like, oh, there's Ryan. It was, he was a Husky through and through, and we treated him that way, and he fit in really, really well.
Good. Thank you.